Okay, so I did a short video on my short straw rocket, which is intended to fly a K185 or a K550. The motor actually goes up into the coupler area. You can go watch that video if you want. Of course, I got one of the two comments that said, what, no test flight? So this is a little bit of a video about the test flight. So we're going to look at some pre-flight pics. This is me putting in a tower here. There's a cast iron skillet with a little bit of material in it, tape and stuff. It will eventually be used as a blast deflector. You will see more about that in a little bit. But so we're getting ready to fly. This is at the TRAPHX launch site west of Phoenix. This would have been last October. So here's the rocket itself in the launch tower, blast deflector in place. A smart person might have turned it upside down. We found that it's actually more entertaining to turn it right side up and get a little flame and smoke effect. This was flying a K185, so with the extended closure, I had to actually add a little bit of tubing at the back end here. So it's basically just a piece of tubing to back off the motor a little bit. Otherwise, the forward closure actually goes past the end of the rocket tube. So me standing next to the rocket, one thing to note is it's a K185, which is a long burn motor, also about 20-25 years old, so maybe a little bit slow, and the rocket is only about half the height of the tower, or said differently, the tower is only about twice as tall as the rocket. So we kind of have a little bit of weather cocking here, or not weather cocking, it's just basically under thrust when it leaves the tower. So
tube, and then it's got a nose cone on top. It has a featherweight tracker. It has Blue Raven, Blue Jay. Should hopefully come down and then use a cable cutter. But regardless, Mr. Henninger marked it as a heads-up flight. So, so I guess I've been judged. Okay, start straw. Going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch.
Come on.
That was smoke.
Yeah, it's still going.
okay, so you would notice that it went off at a slight angle. These are a couple zoom-ins, though, of the pre-launch before it leaves the tower. I'm going to zoom in here, and we'll see that the actual cast iron skillet is reflecting the flame and smoke upward. You can actually see the fins inside the smoke and flame. And then on the next picture, you can actually see where it finally leaves the Tower of Terror, the Tower of Smoke and Flame, about almost 2 towers high, and is heading on its way. And so I do have one picture here that was just a screenshot of those two, give you an idea. That's why turning the skillet upright is kind of fun. So it did land successfully about 2 miles away because it arced over. We can zoom in. I had 2 apogee charges and then a cable cutter. This actually looks like an apogee charge, but it's actually just a shadow of that one. And so 2 of those charges, and the nose cone was off to the left. We didn't actually get it in the picture. So I can go back and look at the flight itself with the Launch Sentinel software. I will try to put a link in the comments here. So I'm going to say File Load. We're going to load the GPS data downloaded from that flight. So I'm going to load short straw. I'm going to say OK. It's going to go ahead and set up the TRAPHX site, which is configured in the software. So we know about where the LCO is, where the flight line is. It loads it up in pause mode. I'm going to hit play, and we're going to watch what happens here. So there's short straw out at the pad now. It's going to take off. Now this software tries to follow the rocket with some type of camera view, so you can see it actually moving out. If I try to move this display, it gets really ugly because it's fighting to put it back into camera view. If I don't want to auto adjust the camera, I can turn this off. Now I can actually zoom in, pivot it, and say, wow, that was a heck of an angle to do a launch at. And so you can see it launching over, going basically it came up to almost 10,000 feet behind us when it came to apogee, so it was launching downrange. You can pause the software now. You couldn't do that before. I can go back to auto adjust. It's not going to do it until it gets another packet. I'll go ahead and say play again. On the way up, it has 10 hertz recording, so that went up pretty fast. Now you see kind of a little bit of a jerky playback, and that's because it's at 1 hertz. If I turn off real-time playback here, it's going to actually start dropping it basically at about 10x the speed, and so it doesn't actually go down this fast. We're looking 6,000. I'm going to pause this at about a little 1,500 or so. I'm going to go back and turn off real-time playback and do play, and we're going to look at the last 1,000 feet here. We're coming in 77 to 80 feet per second, 700 feet, 600 feet. Okay, here we can see it around 514 feet, and then the parachute, the drogue had, or the main had opened, and we're down now to just about 20 feet per second landing. So that worked out well. It was about a mile drive and about a mile hike to go get the rocket out there. So if I look at the flight data itself in the Featherweight interface program, this dark blue line is the tilt angle, and we can see that shortly after liftoff. So I'm going to try to look at this here real quick. I'm at 200 feet elevation, and I'm already 20 degrees of tilt angle. So had it been a stage flight, we would hope the second stage would not light, and the tilt angle just goes up from there till about past apogee when it's past 90 degrees, which makes sense. And we're also then, what was it at? How far downrange distance? 9,000, 9,200 feet downrange. So a bit of a problem there. Next flight will be with the K550. Should go out of that tower much quicker. So that was it. That was the flight data for the first flight of the short straw K185 at the TRAPHX launch site. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.